The death toll in the bombing of a bus convoy in Syria has now reached 126. That's according to the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights. Video shows the moment of Saturday's blast near Aleppo. The car bomb targeted buses evacuating pro-government villagers being relocated as part of a swap with rebels.
Probably the most awful figure we've heard so far is that half those dead appear to be children, according to one activist group monitoring the conflict. Now, about 90 or so, just short of 100 civilians killed, the rest rebels and aid workers assisting that evacuation. But let me step back a little bit. You know, obviously we have to remember we don't often, even in this war, hear of mass casualty incidents where over 100 individuals are killed, certainly not when half of them are children, and also very rarely too when those targets are actually regime sympathizing residents, civilians. Often so much more incidents like this seem to occur in rebel-held areas. But Jonathan, it's important to remember exactly how we got to this point. These buses were travelling from two towns in northern Syria, Foua and Kafraya, which are regime sympathising but surrounded by rebel forces in the province of Idlib. Now, there was a swap of sorts underway. These two towns would be allowed to evacuate their civilians, 3,000 left of about 8,000 or so in this particular wave, in exchange for two towns in the south of the country, Zabadani and Madaya, being allowed to evacuate their rebel sympathising population, those towns currently besieged by regime forces. Both sets of towns experiencing deprivation of medicine, starvation, food, other such things. But this sort of swap, brokered with some assistance from the United Nations, was a bid to try and alleviate that suffering. Now, of course, as they left Foua and Kafraya, it was obviously then that the car bomb struck. The images we've seen on social media, Syrian state television, of devastating the impact of that blast. People torn apart in their seats on a journey which they thought would take them from deprivation, siege, to potentially an easier life.